Call to order. You may notice I look a little bit slimmer than our previous chairman. I've been sitting here studying for all these years, trying to figure out how you do this role. As we're auditioning now for the role, you'll see a number of us come through here in the next few weeks. Now, actually, in all seriousness, Chairman Mullis has basically a forest fire near his home. And he has gone back to Chickamauga to check and make certain that his home is not in danger. So he's his original role as the fire chief up there. So just keep him in your prayers. And with that, I'm going to recognize the minority leader, Senator Butler, to open us with an invocation. And please do include Senator Mullis in there.
Can we bow our heads, please? First of all, Lord, thank you. We come today to do the work for the people of the state, but we should say thanks first. As we gather here today, we ask that you would bless us, keep blessing us, keep us in your power. Give us the wherewithal to do the right thing for the people of the state. Thank you for allowing us to serve and keeping us serving. And Lord, don't forget, and let us not forget, our Bruce chair and the fire that's raging towards his home. As we gather today, we thank you again. We pray and ask for all these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Senator Butler. Members, we've got a thick folder today. We have a number of matters that are in the committee as a whole that need to be considered, particularly a lot of these various study committee proposals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read them off, and I'm going to invite any senator that would like to speak to their study committee to do so, but do not feel that that's necessary. Just up to you. If anybody wants to lobby for it, let me know. What I anticipate we will do is have one sort of consent calendar for study committees on tomorrow, and we'll probably take these up as one motion. As you're listening to any presentation people have, just let us know. Make a note if you have an object, and we'll take any objections as to these being included on the consent calendar for tomorrow's business. So, Senator Parent, I understand you have a little work to do on Senate Resolution 428 and would like for us not to consider that one quite yet.
We have a
Separate one? So you're good to go with that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have a substitute in the folder.
All right. You'll notice in your folder, that means you completed your substitute. You got it worked out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sounds great. All right. So let's just run through the list. If y'all look at your agenda, they're all back here in the folder. The first one is Senator Mullis, one of the study committee on the City of Ringgold. That's Senate Resolution 324. Senator Halpern has Senate Resolution 329. It's Committee on the Excellence, Innovation, and Technology at Historically Black Colleges and Universities. Senator Halpern, are you here? If you want to speak to it, you're welcome to. If not, certainly not required. She waves. Okay. Senate Resolution 364, Senator Al, on Senate Cost and Effects of Smoking Study Committee. Senator Al present. Sonia, do you have a change of heart? Okay, good enough. All right, Senate Resolution 383, Senator Kirkpatrick, Senate Study Committee on the Restoration of Veterans Nursing Facilities. You good with that, or anything you'd like to add? Okay.
Say why we need to do this, if that's okay.
It's certainly fine.
We have two states run veterans homes in Georgia, and we are way behind our surrounding states in how many veterans we can serve. The buildings are aging, there's a lot of issues, so we need to take a deep dive into that and figure out what we need to do.
Okay, thank you. All right, Senator Parent, Senate Resolution 428, the Senate Food Delivery App Study Committee. We do have a committee sub in the file.
That's
okay.
correct. That was the issue raised, and just takes a look at a few things impacting
Make sure I got you.
industry, especially that have come to light during the last few years during the pandemic.
All right. Anybody got questions for Minority Caucus Chair? All right, thank you.
Thank
Senate Resolution 450, another one by Senator Mullis. I'm a second signer on that. It's a study committee on the Georgia music heritage. With such a strong state for music and our music industry, this is an opportunity to study what we can do to promote that. Senate Resolution 615, Senator James, the Senate Property Owners Associations, Homeowners Associations, and Condominium Associations Study Committee. Is Senator James present? All right. Senate Resolution 638, Senator Orrock.
That's not a study committee.
Oops, this is
Only
to
the highlighted
recognize. We'll save that one for the next calendar then. Senate Resolution 650, Senator Dugan, your study committee to review education funding mechanisms.
That was a great summary, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Senate Resolution 659, Senator Cardin Summers, Senate Study Committee on Unsheltered Homelessness. I don't see Senator Summers here. Senate Resolution 741, Senator Anavitarte, Senate Study Committee on the creation of the Georgia Cybersecurity Force. You good or need to share with us? All right, sounds like it. Alrighty, down to Senate Resolution 770, Senator Harrell, Senate Study Committee on People with Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities and Waiver Plan Access. Would you like to speak to it? Okay, take the podium.
You did.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. The reason we need this study committee on intellectual developmental disabilities, people with disabilities, is because we funded a historic number of waiver slots this year, which will help families in Georgia in really amazing ways, and we can be proud of that. We need to kind of evaluate as those waivers are delegated out, given to those families, that they're actually able to connect with services. The pandemic was very, very hard on service providers. We lost 30 to 40% of the businesses that provide those services, and our workforce is underfunded. There's a companion bill going through the House right now that deals with workforce issues. So the study committee will help us evaluate how the services are being provided to those families, and we need to do that work so that we know what to do when we come back next session in terms of funding waiver slots.
Any questions for Senator Harrell? Thank you for presenting. Senator Al, I see you came in. We have gone past yours on Senate Resolution 364 on cost and effects of smoking. Most senators are waiving speaking to it, but if you'd like to, if there's anything you want to add, you're welcome at this time.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. So this study committee that I'm proposing would look at the healthcare costs of tobacco smoking in the state. It's something we haven't looked at for several decades. Some of the things we could look at relate to Medicare and Medicaid costs for chronic health conditions related to tobacco smoke, childhood asthma costs, and costs of lost productivity due to chronic disease related to tobacco smoking. I think it's worth looking into.
Okay. You're a little winded from running
am.
up
I
the
ran
stairs.
up
You hadn't been
4 flights of
smoking
stairs.
on us or anything, have you?
I don't smoke, though. Imagine how winded I'd be if I did smoke, though.
Thank you. I don't see any questions for you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, Senate Resolution 773, Senator Robertson, Senate Direct Sales of Electric Vehicles Study Committee.
Just briefly, Mr. Chairman, you know, we're the greatest, the best state in the country to do business in, and every year we have pros and cons running out of the corner of this building every time we talk about direct sales of electric vehicles. And with Rivian coming here, I think it's time we get all the players in the room, pull everything into the bright light, and find out the impact that this has, and if there are solutions that we can find for both sides.
Senator, I appreciate you being here and using your inside voice in this committee. That's very commendable every week. Senate Resolution 781, Senator Gooch. You also have Senate Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Study Committee. You want to tell us what the difference on that one is?
Yeah, this is, it's going to be a more comprehensive look at the electric industry, the electric vehicle industry, to include direct sales, but also the infrastructure of charging stations. How do we assess a fee to replace the lost motor fuel tax, and so forth and so on. There is a joint study committee. It's already passed the Senate, and it should be on the floor in the House today, so we may not need this, but we'll go ahead and pass it out of this committee and use it as a backdrop in case we don't get it out of the House. Okay.
House member.
Senator Miller.
I think there's a House member in the back that might have some no? Okay.
It should be on the floor today if it hasn't already passed.
Over in the House?
Missing a
Okay.
step.
All right, I got two more from Senator Mullis. Senate Resolution 802, Joint Study Committee on Transparency in High School Athletic Associations, and Senate Resolution 803, Senate Study Committee on the Prevention of Unhealthy Puppies and Protection of Ethical retail sales. Is that why we chose that song, the Who Let the Dogs Out?
That was your choice.
Okay. All right, I don't know much about those. They sound self-explanatory. Does anybody have any comments or discussion on any of these? If not, I will, got some on. Oh, Lordy. All right, Senate Resolution 809. Senator Burns, Senate Development Authorities and Downtown Development Authorities Study Committee. Is Senator Burns present? Okay. And the last one, Senate Resolution 822, Senator Mullis, Senate Study Committee on Economic Development and International Relations. All right, Senator Gooch.
I had a question. If we could we add
Absolutely.
one more? It's a study committee on study committees.
I imagine the leadership will be looking at that.
With that, I'd like
this
to make a motion. We do pass all of these resolutions. I counted 25. I believe there's 25 of them, and I would recommend we do pass those at this time.
Is there a second to that motion in mass? All right. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All right. Any opposed? Appears to be unanimous. Looks like some good work. You noticed on your list here, I skipped over some of the Senate resolutions. That's because they were recognition resolutions and not for study committees. Take those up now. It'd suit me if we go ahead and take those up at this time so we can get through the Senate business before we start taking up the House bills.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question right quick?
Yes, Madam Leader, you're recognized.
Senate Resolution 659 need an amendment to it. When is it appropriate to take that up?
You should
I
have
know
done it
we
just a
just
couple of minutes
voted.
ago, but
Right.
we may be able to consider it now or else on the floor.
On the floor.
If we need to, we can something the calendar.
Okay.
That would be it.
Won't you tell us what you want to do? Because we
It's,
could do that in the Rules Committee
Senate
sub.
Resolution 659,
Okay.
we'd like to add DBHDD and DCA as members, and the lieutenant governor's appointees should be Georgia citizens, if that's
Okay.
something.
Tell you what I'm going to let you do. I'm going to let you confer with Senator Summers, and this is
Okay.
going to be on. We've already passed it to be on the joint sort of calendar tomorrow, but you obviously can ask to have that removed, and perhaps you can go ahead and do your substitute tomorrow
Okay,
on the floor. We'll just handle it that way rather than bog us down.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Madam Leader. Senate Resolution 638, Senator Orrock to recognize Judy Davis. Senator Orrock present to speak to that. All righty. Senate Resolution 799, Senator Tanya Anderson, the Nation of Israel, to commend the Nation of Israel. Okay. Senate Resolution 800, Senator Kim Jackson, calling for the unfettered humanitarian access and recognizing Ethiopia. You may speak to it from the podium. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Very briefly, if you are of a certain age, you remember that Ethiopia was the face of starvation. Children, we saw all those pictures of children. What we're facing in Tigray is a very similar situation where people are being starved while they're at war. And so this is just an urging saying, please open it up for humanitarian aid so that people can get food.
Okay. Any questions? Senator Robertson, I overlooked one of your Senate Resolution 768, expressing support for America Free Trade Agreement, Central America, Dominican Republic. Anything you need to add on that, or you just want to commend them?
No, sir. Currently, there's been shown an appetite in Congress to weaken this trade agreement, which would allow for China to bring yarn in through Central America, which would lower the tariffs that they're required. We have a very strong agreement right now with Central America where yarn is coming in, primarily used in Georgia textile industries. It's profitable to everyone in Georgia right now, including our job force. And if they continued moving toward allowing China to come in through this trade agreement, it would drastically impact textile business here in Georgia.
Okay. Well, you may want to speak to the Dean of the House, Calvin Smyrie. He is going to be spending a little time down in the Dominican Republic here soon, and maybe he can help you out there.
He has a copy of the resolution on his desk, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senate Resolution 819 on your back, Senator Parent, recognizing the American Society of Landscape Architects. Anything you need to say to that one?
Yes, there is, Mr. Chairman. It's my understanding that there was a scrivener's error in it, and actually I got that the new version from Lake Council signed today. So let's go ahead and, unless it came through that fast, which I doubt.
They're good, but they're busy right now, so
Yeah,
we'll
so let's
remove
not
that
pass
from
this
any
one.
consideration
Yes.
count. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senate Resolution 820, Senator Rahman, Federal Republic of Germany and the state of Georgia, recognizing our strong relations and continuous cooperation. You with us today? You'd like to speak to it, or we good? We good. All right, thank you. Yeah, recognize you, Mr. Pro Tem.
I would just like to thank this august body for their international expertise. And I know those folks in Washington are really standing by waiting on these resolutions.
Very observant.
With bated breath, right?
Senator Resolution 818, Senator Albers, we're talking about the growth and boundary agreements, annexation in Cherokee County. Urging resolution. Okay, you trying to get them to annex more or not so much? All right, work out their differences. Sounds good. That's all I have that are these commendations and urging resolutions. I would receive a motion to handle these also by consent calendar in mass. Senator Gooch, minus Senator Parents. Any other ones want to withdraw? Hers was Senator Resolution 819. All right, is there a second?
Second.
We got several seconds. Senator Miller. All in favor of passing these out on a consent calendar? Raise your hand. Okay. Any opposed? All right, please note that's also unanimous. Senator Gooch, are you prepared to present our committee sub on, was that 1118? 1183. 1183. Good. They're going to pass this out to you. If you don't have one, you're going to present a Rules Committee substitute. We'd need to pass that before it can go to our consideration calendar. All right, everybody stand by as we pass these out. All right, if everybody has your copy, this is, you'll see on top the Senate Research review of the bill. It's House Bill 1183. This is a proposed Rules Committee substitute, and I'm going to ask Senator Gooch to present this to us.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I was looking at the original bill, but the sub basically revises the escrow requirements for professional bail bondsmen who have operated in the county for more than 18 months. What the problem was the sheriffs in each of these counties have an escrow amount that equals 10% of the bonds. And as COVID, especially during the COVID era, the last 2 years, a lot of the bonds were just kept accumulating, and the 10% fee kept going up and up. So this puts a $1 million cap on that fee. So if you look at the amendment, it would cap out at $1 million. Such escrow account shall not be required to have on deposit in an amount in excess of $1 million. So you have the 5% of the current outstanding bail liability of the professional bonding company in the escrow accounts, but it would not go past $1 million. Once it gets to $1 million, it would cap out.
Okay. Is it capped out now?
I don't think there's a cap now,
Okay,
so
that's what you're
that's
doing.
the issue. It could go, if you just kept without the limit, you could essentially go to 3 or 4 or even $5 million if the judicial system weren't clearing the cases out fast enough. So,
Okay. Any questions for the majority whip? Senator Hufstadter, what are you, number 11 over there?
Number 10. I'll use here. The 5%, why are we doing that?
I think it's just because of the fact that the bail bondsmen are putting up their equity in cash, and they're very successful and effective in collecting these fees and bringing the folks back in when there is an issue. So everyone feels that the 5% is adequate. There was no opposition to the change, is what I'm told. So.
Other questions? All right, receive a motion due pass on the Rules Committee substitute to HB 1183, it's LC 280522S. So moved by our Secretary, Senator Anderson. Is there a second? Second by Senator Miller, President Pro Tem. Any discussion on the measure? All right, all in favor, raise your hand. And are there any opposed? All right, passes unanimously. Thank you for presenting that to us. That will now go to the consideration calendar. Okay, now for the fun part, let's find out how many dogs got let out of committee along the way, and let's hear from some folks that are here. First of all, are there any senators that need to be heard? I see Senator Hickman here. Anything you need to bring to us? Robertson, you taken care of? Harold? Senator Summers, you're so powerful with your study committee, it passed without even any commentary from you, so well done. I'm going to ask you to speak with the minority leader about a proposed amendment or adjustment or change that y'all might work out before it hits the floor tomorrow. Okay? All right. I'm just going to go numerical here, and many of you may have already spoken to these bills. I think that Representative Dempsey has spoken to HB 412. Is she here? All right. Did I see Senator Williamson back there? I mean, Representative Williamson. Okay. All right, well, we'll just go by who's here then. Madam, come on up and tell us what you got.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What's your bill number?
Mr.
So we
Chair,
can follow you?
HB 937. HB 937.
Okay,
Thank you,
this is
Mr.
not
Chair.
on our consideration calendar, but we'd sure like to hear from you about it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Representative Sharon Henderson. This bill, HB 937, is very passionate for me because I was diagnosed with breast cancer about 4 months ago, and because of early detection, I'm now cancer-free. This bill allows insurance companies to send notification to women upon reaching age 40 to go and get a mammogram. So therefore, this bill will allow a lot of women to live cancer-free and live a better life because early detection is key, and early detection saves lives. Thank you. I very much thank you for consideration on the Senate floor. Thank you very much.
I'm going to tell you like the chairman does, we're going to get to you. We're
Thank
working
you.
on it, just not going to be tomorrow. Any
Thank
questions?
you, sir.
All right, thank you. I see Mr. Watson, you got House Bill 997. If you have others, I'll let you speak to them too. Tell us about that one.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's the 9th one down, middle of the page. This is creating an ad valorem exemption on timber harvesting equipment. Currently, we don't know where. It's not all collected. The equipment's not tagged. So this will help provide uniformity in the code. This industry has been impacted significantly with COVID and lack of truck drivers and input costs, and this is just providing them a little bit of relief. This equipment stays in the woods, it never touches the road, and a lot of times nobody even knows it's there, and that's why we're doing it. Appreciate your support and take any questions.
All right, any questions for Representative Watson? Senator Anderson.
Representative, would this include like your little small sawmills, like somebody got a wood miser?
No, I don't believe it would. This is mainly for the big equipment, skidders and loading equipment, tree planters, equipment used in the process of harvesting or planting timber.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you. Do you have anything else on our consideration calendar?
That's all I've got today, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Mr. Perkle.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
showing you at HB 1041, if that's your first one on here. Tell us about it.
Yes, sir. HB 1041 is a rural hospital tax credit. Moves it from 60 to 75 million, effective January 1, 2023.
Any questions? All right. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Mr. Gaines, you're on the back. I've got a couple of you there. HB 1186 will be the first one.
And there's also 689 on the front
All right.
page.
We'll take it first then. Go in order.
Which is why you played that music at the beginning because we have the Hungry Dog bill.
This one might be a little bit different than the caption.
Yeah, so the caption, the language, Senator Tanya Anderson has a bill in the House that already incorporates the original language, so we were able to help our four-legged friends by passing legislation through Judiciary yesterday that would allow restaurants to serve human-grade food to dogs, and so that's what the measure does. It doesn't change where they can be. Currently, they can be on the patio, but this would allow restaurants that so choose to offer that service.
This is House Bill 689. It's been a little substitution done on that original bill. So you better listen to what he says, not what's written on the paper.
You better tell us that one more time.
All right, the President Pro Tem wants to hear a little bit more about your
You better
four-legged
tell us that
friends.
one more time.
Okay, so basically right now, currently dogs can go on the patio of restaurants if the restaurants allow them. This would allow for those restaurants, if they choose, to offer, it has to be human food, so like an example of a menu, there's a restaurant called Lazy Dog. They offer like brown rice, hamburger patty, that they would be able to, currently they can't serve food to dogs. This would allow them to do so. Utensils would all be throwaway, those sort of things. Gives DPH the opportunity to regulate it.
Senator Dugan?
I'm sorry.
Go right ahead. I know it's going to be good.
No. I was just, you said the utensils would be thrown away. I'm trying to figure out how the dogs hold the utensils in their little paws.
I don't even know. Someone asked that question yesterday, so I said I'd throw it in there, But someone asked about the utensils, but that's a good point. I don't know that they need a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, the pup cups.
Well, I've got a dog that's somewhat of a beggar and will stare me down until I give a little table scrap or two. Is that still going to be permitted, or because?
Well, currently it's illegal to serve at a restaurant, but I know you're not doing that. So, but this would allow you that opportunity.
That sounds good.
It would allow you the opportunity to feed your dog the scrap at the table in the restaurant?
Well, they currently are allowed at the patio, but it would allow the restaurant to offer that service that you can feed them. Currently, you cannot offer food to a dog at a restaurant.
All right, Senator Brass, are you number 12 over there? Can you tell, or are you a witness? All right.
3. Did a dog bring you this bill?
Yes. No.
What kind of dog?
Well, a lab. No. This was actually a bill of Beth Moore's in the House. We just ran out of time before crossover to get it through the House, so we offered this opportunity to move it through the Senate.
Have that dog call me.
Yeah. Other questions? He's not a freshman anymore, so y'all don't have to be too rough on it.
And Senator
as
Cowser,
a member
Chairman
of my
Cowser.
Delegation, I'm excited for you. I wonder what other important issues are you working on this year? Anything else for us to take a look at?
Well,
about 1186.
1452. Is
okay. I got you down there on HB 1180. Oh no, that's Miss Penny. Okay, not on a
I was
first
like, I
name.
didn't know
but
about
yeah, go
that
ahead.
So 1452, this is an important measure to help victims of dating violence in our state. Last year we passed important legislation to protect victims of dating violence by allowing temporary protective orders, and I think we crafted a really good bill. Had actually a student at UGA who had a issue last year. The bill allowed for currently dating or within the last 6 months to file a TPO against your abuser. She came to us after she had an incident. It had been 8 months, so we extended the legislation to 12 months and have worked with the solicitors and others to craft that bill.
Okay. Any questions on that one? Thank you.
And then I have one more, Mr.
Wow.
House Bill 1516. What this bill does is currently the Georgia Music Hall of Fame material is sitting in Athens at the University of Georgia Special Collections Library. The Music Hall of Fame was sold, the building was sold about 10 years ago. This would just allow for that material to be displayed at the new Classic Center arena in Athens.
Questions on that one? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Marcus Wiedauer, come on up and see what my other member of my local delegation. No, you get to jump in the line because you serve with me. Let's see what you got. I think I know.
Well, I'm actually regretful I didn't bring this forward as a Senate study committee, as they are so successful.
They are.
But House Bill 1034, this adds FIFA World Cup matches to the list of major non-reoccurring sporting events that we offer an incentive to not tax just the sales of their tickets. and it also extends the sunset of this provision to 2031 due to some of the events that we're in the running for Final Four in 2029 and rugby actually after that. There's several measures, but this would be FIFA World Cup for 2026. That's simply what it does.
And it's all major sports, so you're rewarding Major League Baseball for taking our All-Star game away by giving them a tax break on it if they ever bring it back.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would say that, when I was brought this bill, that was my instant reaction as well. Upon reflection and their knee-jerk reaction and a poor choice, I think that in the end, should they come back, it's actually going to finally reward the Georgians that those opportunities were stolen from them last year. And I think that the folks of Cobb County that planned for that and anticipated that revenue were quite frankly cheated out of that. If they were to come back, I certainly I think the Braves served the best course of revenge on that by bringing the World Series here.
All right, questions? Senator Brass, you've got the face of the cat that ate the canary. What's on your mind?
I just keep thinking about the dog eating the steak at the restaurant.
That's better than thinking about our previous chairman and his tidy whities. That Steve keeps popping in my mind. Previous, he's lamed up. All right, who's next? Ms. Taylor, you ready?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I have two bills. The first one is House Bill 624, and that is the bill for a South Georgia additional judge to our judicial circuit. Our beloved dogs have had two national championships since we got a new judge. We really do need it, and I'd appreciate that consideration. And I have another little bill that did not make it to the yellow sheet.
What number is it while we got you here? Tell us and we'll consider it.
It's 1288, and it is a great bill. It has to do with our state employees' retirement, the death benefit. It's come to our attention that like most insurance companies, when you settle a life insurance, you can sign the assignment of benefits to pay the funeral homes. And it has become a large problem because our funeral homes are not being paid. And it's because our plan does not let them accept an assignment of benefits. So this bill will allow the beneficiary to assign the death benefits to be paying for the funeral. And that's all the bill does.
All right, any questions? Okay,
Thank
you very
you. I
much.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you being here. Who's next? Come on forward.
Thank you, Chair. I am here for House Bill 1004. It's the 10th one down. And this bill, right now, the USG and TCSG systems, their police force, they are allowed to interact amongst each other, but private universities are not. In particular, the AUCC, which is in my district, they would like to be able to enter into an agreement. This bill was changed in Senate. It's now much better. One of the representatives mentioned agreement between Agnes Scott and Emory, so this bill would also help those campuses as well, and I would like your favorable consideration of a unified public safety department.
All right. Any questions? All right, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Come on up.
Hello, I'm Representative Lim. I have HB 1280. It is not on your yellow sheet, but Chairman Mullis suggested this morning that I go ahead and present anyway. That's very gracious of him, and just to be clear, I tried not to cut anyone that was on the yellow sheet. So HB 1280, sponsored here by Senator Dixon and passed unanimously out of the House and as amended out of Senate Finance. This regards how county tax commissioners contract with counties and municipalities to collect fees, taxes, and assessments. What it does is take the three-tiered system we have now that's very inconsistent and creates one system wherein those three parties, the tax commissioner of the county, and the municipality are all in the room, have equal bargaining power. It also sets a cap on compensation, a big issue through the years, at 50% of the minimum annual salary per the OCGA. And in addition, in Senate Finance, we did append onto it Senator Robertson's bill that got out of Senate retirement, which would create deferred compensation plan for about the 71 or so county tax commissioners that do not qualify for retirement. So it made it an even better bill.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Slow talking, slow walking. Jay Collins, come on up here and tell us about yours.
Thank you, sir. On the back,
House Bill 1441 on the back.
1441. Just what it does is exempts post-certified police officers from having to register with the Secretary of State to be a private security guard.
All right. Any questions?
Very simple.
All right, thank you. Is that all you got with us?
That's all I got with
Okay. Mr. Gamble.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee, I've got House Bill 1193. It's the Funeral Director's Licensure Bill. It would allow a funeral director to renew a lapsed or expired funeral director's license.
All right. Any questions, Senator Miller?
Are y'all tag teaming this bill? Every funeral director comes in a different day.
I know. There was one just in front of me. He didn't bring it up, but he does support it. So,
Just wondered.
I do have one other that I was going to mention that's not on the yellow sheet. Is that okay, Mr. Chairman?
That'd be fine.
All right.
How many of y'all got in that funeral director caucus over there now?
Well, I'm not in it. I'm an honorary member, but there's I think there's 5 or 6. But anyway, House Bill 1297 deals with fortified construction, and this is not a mandate, but if you build a house or you retrofit a house or commercial property to what's called a fortified standard, this bill says that the insurance companies will recognize that and determine on their own how to incentivize that. The insurance industry supports it, and Senator Robertson, he left a minute ago, he's going to be carrying it if we get that far, but I did want to mention that, so appreciate your consideration.
All right. Thank you very much. Judge Gunner.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I have a 1183 that's on there. It's a judicial council bill to amend the statutes regarding bonds, criminal bonds, to give incentive for the bondsman to go out and find the fugitive and bring them back.
Okay.
And I heard y'all amended it. I didn't hear what the amendment was, but I would ask for that one.
Okay. You
right.
got sight unseen. You just trust us.
I'll
You're
deal
gonna
with
love
it. Yes, sir.
You're going to love it.
The other is House Bill 554. It's, I think, on the green sheet. It's not on the yellow sheet.
Yeah.
This amends the Liz Pendon's statutes to modernize the language about it. The clerks have joined in and had an amendment on that bill as well. And it also puts in a procedure for the termination of the Liz Pendons.
Okay. So. Any questions? All right. Thank you for being with us. All right. Next.
Good afternoon. I want to make sure it was afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm here about House Bill 1405.
This is not on the yellow sheet.
It's not on the yellow sheet. I haven't made the yellow sheet yet, but I'm excited about this bill because it is the result of collaborative work between ACCG, GMA, Georgia Realtors, zoning attorneys, and basically what it will do is codify and streamline how you challenge zoning decisions, and it will save citizens and local governments a lot of money. So I'm not aware of any opposition, so I hope you'll give it your favorable consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Belton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Fort Stewart Day, as you all know, and talked to the General of Fort Stewart, talked about what he wanted for his soldiers. Number one thing out of his mouth was spouse licensure.
So you're going
House
to talk
Bill
about House Bill
884, spouse licensure. Also, the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, from Thomasville, Georgia. He specifically asked for this particular bill. 28 other states do this for their spouses, and we're hoping Georgia can as well. Also have a House Bill 972 is a spouse. It's a licensed counselor bill. I brought this bill because of the military uses more counselors than anyone else because of PTSD and the things we're doing. Right now, these people, Third IDs in Germany, protecting us from the Russians. So I hope you can help them out by also passing 972, the licensed counselor bill.
You're going to have to talk to the chairman about that one because it's not in Section 1 yet. So
yes, sir, that's true.
Need to pay Chairman Mullis a visit.
Okay.
He gives us the power to check once they hit the Section 1, but he's got the power whether.
Yes, sir. I hope you can help me out with the 884, sir.
All righty. Thank you so much. Mr. Leverett.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I have on about the middle of the front page of the sheet is House Bill 934, which would amend provisions regarding the single county T-SPLOS and make it more consistent with other SPLOS. Currently, that bill now only runs until a certain amount is collected and then stops. The changes would basically provide that as long as there's an intergovernmental agreement between the jurisdiction, the county and the cities in that jurisdiction, that that SPLOS could go a set amount of time, up to 5 years, like all the other SPLOS that we have.
Questions? All right, do you have anything else on our sheet?
I
You're
have
very prolific.
1068, which just came out yesterday. I don't believe it's on the sheet
Okay,
yet.
that
but
hadn't made it. All right, have a conversation with Chairman Mullis on that one.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. Appreciate it.
Ms. Dempsey, come on up. You have the very first bill on our list, 412.
I do. HB 412, which I've been before you a couple of times with, but it is for the licensure of individuals who are in the practice of applied behavioral and analysis. They are analysts. There's one more that's not on the sheet, but
Okay,
I think
what's
it's
that?
pending, and that is HB 1355. This is the lead protection bill. It's from the Department of Public Health.
All right. Thank you very much. Ms. Ballinger.
Thank you, sir. Members of the committee, I'm here on 1433. It's midway down the back sheet. It basically just changes the definition of one position. It doesn't change, add, or remove a position. It just renames a position that's on the Special Advisory Group for the CJCC, and it also allows for court-involved youth and their parents. It also adds parents to that, and that's all that bill does. Very simple bill, but it does protect 20% of the grant that we receive for that. So happy to answer any questions.
By committee members? All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
job.
Appreciate it.
Ms. Oliver, come on up. I'm looking for your name on here. I don't see it. What you got?
Good afternoon. 1013 was reported out of the Health and Human Services Committee yesterday. I don't think it's been on your sheet, but on behalf of Representative Chair Jones, Todd Jones, who is presenting a bill on another committee, we're here to ask for 1013 to be calendared as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you. We are waiving our rules to try to expedite that bill this week, but you're just going to have to be patient. We'll get to it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Efstration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My bill today is House Bill 961. It is midway down the first page. Chairman's aware of this issue, but apportionment is a statute that was interpreted by the Georgia Supreme Court this past year to mean that if only one defendant's sued, they have to bear 100% of the costs, even if they have a smaller percentage of the responsibility. And so this just fixes that. It's top priority of the business community and insurance community, and this is a compromise that's been worked out. There's no opposition to this bill, House Bill 961.
So what happens to somebody that wants to apportion damages for a case that's already pending in court? This bill doesn't kick in until it's signed by the governor, right?
Yes, sir. It would apply once it's signed by the governor. If there's any pending case currently, the laws that currently stands would apply. And it's my understanding that there are constitutional issues with trying to change any existing claim that's now pending.
Okay. Any questions? Senator Dugan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You said it was a priority from whom?
Georgia Chamber, Metro Chamber, the folks in the insurance industry. It's top. We have like a list of 58 different businesses, insurers, and business organizations. Gwinnett County Chamber of Commerce, a bunch of the business groups.
Can I ask you a question about another priority that has 34 signatures on it?
Yes, sir.
It's Senate Bill 393. I would appreciate your consideration within committee over there.
Yes, sir. Well, I know we had a hearing about an hour and a half on that bill last week, Mr. Leader, and what's important to the folks in here is very important to me as I'm presenting the bill here especially. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Other questions by committee members? All right. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Come on up.
Thank you, sir. I'm just here again. My bill 1390, House Bill 1390, is not on the yellow sheet yet. I'm just here to pay my respects once more to this esteemed committee. It passed House Judiciary, the House, and Senate Judiciary unanimously. It has the full support of ACCG and GMA, and I would love to have y'all's favorable consideration.
What's the subject matter of that bill?
Yes, it is a right of action for city, county, and consolidated government employees who face retaliation for reporting or making a claim of sexual harassment. It's been in the news, well, similar stories, incidents of this have been in the news with increasing regularity.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Rich, come on up. You got HB 478 right up towards the top of our page.
Yes, and I have two others. Is HB 478 on the yellow sheet?
It sure is.
Oh, excellent. Okay. This bill will change the standard of admitting evidence, scientific evidence, and expert testimony in criminal cases to make it the same standard that is used in civil cases. And all of the legal stakeholders are in support of this bill, the defense attorneys, the prosecutors, the trial lawyers, and the insurance defense lawyers.
All right. Good bill. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. May I present my other two
Absolutely.
that have
You got
not made
something
it
else
yet?
on our sheet?
Yes, I don't know that it's on the sheet yet. House Bill 1275.
Didn't make the cut yet, but tell us about it quickly.
Okay, this bill was requested by the municipal court judges to specify the due process to which they are entitled when their employment is terminated by the municipality. And the municipal court judges negotiated this with GMA, so there's agreement there as well. And I believe Senator Kennedy is going to be carrying that bill.
Right.
And then I have one more, which is House Bill 1348, the Georgia Smoke-Free Air Act. It was requested by the Department of Public Health, and this bill will treat vaping the same as traditional tobacco smoking in government buildings, schools, daycare centers. And this bill is being carried by Senator Mullis.
All right. Yeah, that's got much better chances of making the calendar then. Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Cantrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Got one on here. I didn't see it.
It's not there. I was assured by the chair it was going to be on there today. That's why I showed up.
Ooh.
It's House Bill 56. It's a very simple bill that adds an additional Superior Court judge position to the Blue Ridge Judicial Circuit. It was a circuit that was rated as the second highest circuit of need in our state last year. There's a Senate sub because we had to change the effective date to January 1st. But that's all it does is adds an additional Superior Court position. It was unanimous in Judiciary and Senate House on the floor there as well.
All right. Thank you.
56. Thank you, sir.
Workhauser.
Thanks, sir. Happy to report that all Senate bills are out of industry and labor the first available day.
All right. What bill you want to talk to us about?
1409, I think it's on the second page, and it increases the maximum weekly rate for disability in workers' comp.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you. Anybody else here want to speak to their bill? Okay. Representative, can you want to wheel up here to the middle? Might be more convenient to you. Senator Jones will give you a little room there.
Mr. Chairman and committee, my bill is not on the yellow sheet. House Bill 437.
All right.
And it's a simple bill for those of us who have to have it. In particular, it's a disabled bill for assisting persons at the pump that with disabilities. And we are asking the Ag Department has agreed to put signage on the pumps with the inspection stickers to with a phone number on the inspection sticker, whereas if I drive up to the pump and need assistance, then I can call into the station and get if it's more than two persons working, then they will come out and assist me. And this is a bill that you would not think about unless you are faced with a disability, where you can still have your independence and continue to move around and do the things you need to do.
Thank you. Any questions? All right. Appreciate you being with us today.
All right, thank you.
Is Chairwoman Cooper here? I think she already presented HB 752 previously. We don't require you to come back multiple times if you already educated us on it. And how about Representative Lott? She had one that we had talked about earlier, I think, HB 1146. Penny Houston, HB 1307, she's already spoken on that, and I think Lee Hawkins has spoken on 1276. Has he been here before? You know? You talked about it? Okay. All right. Senator Huffstetler, I'm going to ask you to address HB 1437. Shaw Blackman was the sponsor of the House version. I think you made a couple little changes to that. Tell us about it.
Right. We worked on this with quite a few people, including the state economist and some others. And the bill as it exists now, and one of the problems we had with the other one was there were a lot of people that were getting a tax increase, you know, up to $500,000, and it's hard to do on here. But this bill changes it, and the cost will also be about $200-something million the first year, irregardless of the film tax credit. That's still been evaluated, and I know that one was over $1.1 billion to do. We will put in an earned income tax credit at the bottom for those that need the help. We have a new rate that will be a little bit lower, but it's phased in over a number of years of 4.99%. Those at the bottom with the first $20,000 of income would get that the first year, and then it steps up $35,000, $55,000. Dr. Dorfman, the state economist, thinks that within 2 to 3 years, maybe 2 years, that over half the people, their entire tax bill will be at the 4.99% rate. It also codifies the SALT, we call it, the state and local income taxes at $10,000, because we don't know what the federal government's going to do in a year or two on that extension, to they extend it or not. So this would just protect us, because we'd have a really big liability at that point if they did something on it. And it's got some triggers in there that say you have to have revenue increase of 3%. It's got to be higher in the last 5 years. You've got to have money in the fund balance, or else you pause a year on going forward. But eventually this would get everybody at the 4.99% rate. We also cap the film tax credits at $900 million, which is higher than the average has been for the last 5 years, and says that those would not be transferable.
All right, any questions? Okay, that is eligible for tomorrow. All right, well, let's pick some bills here. We're going to put on a few tomorrow. We're going to be busy working on House bills, and we hope to goodness they'll be busy in committee working on our bills. So some of them can get out by Friday, the 39th day, because a few of these may need to go to conference to get things worked out. Dean Burke gets the first pick today. He had to go to present a bill in a House committee, but he gave me his proxy. He wanted House Bill 624 on the new judgeship down in his part of the world, so we're going to put that on the calendar. Senator Huffstetler, you are next on our rotation. Your choice.
Well, I believe we need to get going on House Bill 1437.
Everybody needs tax relief. We'll do that. All righty, Senator Harper, your pick. All right, on the front page, about 2/3 of the way down. That's a good pick. We'll put it on there. All right. Senator Gooch, we've got you on the front page, halfway down. Senator Albers. Well, there's parts of that I do like. 1034. I just don't see how that saves any Georgia citizen money, because the tax, I mean, the price of the ticket just goes up and make the difference. You're going to need to be very persuasive to get me on board, but we'll see. Senator Butler, what you got? House Bill 412, very first one. Okay. He's one of those tax and spend liberal kind of guys. We just, yeah, he gets a pick. Mr. Leader, Mike Dugan.
First page, HB 884.
All right. Well, there is a little concern from Secretary of State, but we're going to let them talk with you before that hits the floor. I'm going to let it go on the list. Well, we'll get you a backup. We're going to have another pick or so. Senator Miller, I'm aiming to get close to 20 bills on the calendar. We'll see what. Lots to pick from.
How about 478?
You got it. Second from the top, but there's going to be another one put in between there that HB 424 didn't make the list, but I'm gonna make it make the list. 478 is on, and not yet. Senator Anderson.
1146.
Okay. I'm going to choose House Bill 424, the Fostering for Success Act that was hijacked by the House. 424, it's not on the sheet, but it is now. Back to Senator Brass.
HB 1193.
All right, flip this over to the back page, third one down. All right, let's count real quick, see what we got. Don't want to overload us, but we got to make sure we're right. Okay, we got 10 or 11. We'll do a few more then. Senator Walker, you here? You wave. Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. HB 961, please.
All right. Senator Harold Jones.
HB 1004.
Okay. Senator Parent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. HB 1433.
Chairman, can I ask a question about that?
Go right ahead. Senator Miller, got a question.
Senator Jones, that bill that you just picked about the two schools combining their public safety, how far are they apart, just out of curiosity? Are they adjacent to each other? Okay, good. Okay. I was worried about it having that. Remember having that extended perimeter outside? I was hoping it overlapped. If it didn't, yeah, gotcha. Doesn't have to be.
All right. Senator Burke gets another pick, but he's not here. But I found one that talks about community health, and that's his world. So we're going to go with HB 1276, utilizing the Burke proxy. HB 1276 on the back page.
I thought you were going to say you found one about bird dogs.
You never know.
Or quail hunting.
Who let them out? All right, I've got another pick coming up for Senator Tyler Harper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How about we do the rural hospital? 1041.
Okay. That will make some people happy. How many you got?
13, 14, 15, 16.
All right, Senator Gooch.
House Bill 1183.
That was available as a committee sub, okay? So make a note of that, Mr. Secretary. That'll be coming out as the sub. All right, there's a couple more that I need to make sure on here. Give me 1 sec. All right, we got a request from the second floor that House Bill 1443 go on our list. I don't know whether 1433 was a typo or not, but we're going to put 1443 on. That is not on your yellow sheet. I'm going to put on House Bill 1452 down there at the bottom, next to the bottom on the back page on the dating violence.
What is 14?
It was food trucks. Yeah. Did anybody pick House Bill 752?
No.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there. Tell me how many we got.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
You got 20. We got 20. I'm gonna talk real briefly with my pro tem and my majority leader and my secretary in the back, and we'll let y'all know if that's it. Yes, sir.
Our 594 was available yesterday and it's not today. Was that a typo, or do I need to get with the chairman on the other chairman on this?
Oh, I think I'd get with the chairman. I might talk to the pro tem majority leader. There may be something going on there. It might be in play.
It's not available. Is that
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I took House Bill 1433 while I went through.
That was picked by Elena Parent.
Look at that. It's already
Yep,
picked.
that
You just blew your choice. All right, but that was great. Okay. Yeah, I had to make sure the bosses were happy, and they're happy now. All right, we have 20 bills selected. I'm going to run down the list. Y'all let me know if I missed anything. I'm new at this. House Bill 412, House Bill 424, House Bill 478, House Bill 624, House Bill 752, House Bill 884, House Bill 934, House Bill 961, House Bill 997, House Bill 1004, House Bill 1034, House Bill 1041, House Bill 1146, House Bill 1183, House Bill 1193, House Bill 1276, House Bill 1433, House Bill 1443. Was not on your list, but it's in the rules. It's there now. House Bill 1437. And that's all I'm showing. If you got me straight, House Bill 1452. We had a late one there. All right, I'll take a motion. Got a motion do pass. Which one you didn't circle?
Yeah, it
All
was
right.
on there.
That's 20.
That's 20 bills. That's a full day's work. Is there a second? Second by Senator Albers. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed, raise your hand. That is unanimously passed on to the rules. Calendar, we got to vote no. Somebody unhappy? All right. Thank you. What does our friend Chairman Mullis say? Go to your committees. Let's keep him in our prayers for his home and all those citizens up there in Chickamauga.